guys ready? Good evening. This meeting of the Littleton Licensing Authority will come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Chair Cole.
Here.
Vice Chair Levere. Authority Member Buchanan.
Here.
Authority Member Day.
Here.
Authority Member Schock.
Here.
Authority Member Webb. Authority Member Winsack.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum.
Will you all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The next item is to approve the agenda. Does anyone have any questions or changes? If not, can I have a motion to approve?
I so move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The next item on the agenda is 3A, the certification of the May 9th meeting minutes. Did anyone have any changes? And if not, can we have a motion?
I move to approve the minutes for the May 9th, 2018 regular meeting of the Littleton Licensing Authority.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Next item is 5A, liquor license application hearings. This is a application for a new,
Excuse me, Chair.
yes,
Public comment.
that's right. Is there anyone here who would like to make public comment who's not here to speak about something that's on the agenda? If you'd like to let us know about anything else that's on your mind. Okay. Thank you for the reminder. So next item, 5A, Resolution 13201 to approve a liquor license application for Jackass Hill Brewery, LLC, doing business as Jackass Hill Brewery, 2409 West Main Street. Is the applicant here this evening? Can you come on down, please? Good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Can you say your name for the record?
Yeah, Jeff Bennett, B-E-N-N-E-T-T.
Mr. Bennett, can you, will you raise your right hand, and do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give before this authority is truthful?
I do.
Okay. And just make sure you speak into the microphone. That's our
Sure.
record. So we have all of your materials here, the application and things, but we usually just like to let the licensee start by talking about anything you'd like, and then we're happy to jump in with any questions.
Okay.
And then it looks like you also have a petition at whatever point you'd like, either yourself or if someone else is going to present your petition, have them come up as well.
Okay. You guys typically do that at the end for the petition?
Generally, but you're welcome to do it however you'd like. So
Okay.
why don't we do this? Why don't you just start off by saying what you're applying for, where it's going to be located, a little bit about when you might open and anything else, and then we'll jump in with some questions we usually ask.
All right. Well, we're applying for a brew pub license, and it's the old bank building on Prince and Main Street. And the way this came about was basically a friend of mine, he's also one of the applicants. I guess we're lovers of craft beer, and so with respect to that, we'd like to make some craft beer, but never really found a good spot. Did find the bank; it looked like a good spot. He's a longtime resident of Littleton, and he happens to be in the T-shirt business. And about 24 or so years ago, he bought a house up on Jackass Hill. So that's where the name is coming from. Is we're not just pulling it out of the air. He actually lives on Jackass Hill. He would invite his friends over to his porch to have a beer. And of course, sitting on the front porch looking at the mountains was the inspiration for Jackass Hill Brewery, which didn't exist 24 years ago, still didn't exist. We're trying to basically make good on his T-shirts he's been making for the past 7 or 8 years that can already sell like hotcakes. So he sells them at the Western Welcome Days and other events. But We're hoping to open a brew pub, so it's not just strictly a brewery. So we're hoping to offer other people's beers and hopefully to open up the demographics of people that can come in. The layout offers us to utilize the parking lot as a beer garden. So that beer garden is kind of a primary interest in making it a go in that particular location because the footprint of the building is kind of small. So we put a lot of thought into trying to fit all this brewery equipment into the building. And initially we were trying to go for a patio out on the main street, but due to the trees and the power poles and everything else, we kind of just put that on the shelf for a while and just going to focus on this beer garden and the interior finish. So basically we're just doing interior finish on this particular building. As far as the hours of operation, we're hoping it's going to be Monday through Thursday 2 to 11, Friday and Saturday 11 to 12, and then Sunday 11 to 10. So just try to get open a little earlier on those weekend hours, but basically we're not really planning on being open past midnight anyway. So it's not going to be a 2 o'clock close kind of bar. So I kind of noticed that Littleton rolls up a little early anyway. There's 4 applicants. They're all here. The general manager that's been in the business for 15 years here in Colorado running the Yard House restaurants is going to be the general manager as well at this place. So if there's any specific questions about, how are we going to handle, carding people or something like that, we can bring her up to answer all those questions. But as far as the basics of how we got here, basically it's these 4, or actually 3 grade school to friends that are basically putting this together. I'm just the facilitator, also a friend. So I don't know if you guys have any questions for me.
I was going to have some questions about some of the operations, so I don't know if you want to
Sure.
bring her down.
And I can stay up here if there's any other
you're welcome.
questions.
Yep. Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening.
And just make sure that you're wedged in there enough that you can speak clearly in the microphone. Could you say your name, please, for the record?
Sure, I'm Darcy Coghill,
Coghill?
Coghill.
Ms. Coghill, will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give before this authority is truthful?
Yes, I do.
So I had a couple of quick questions. So you've been a manager on a liquor license previously? Have you ever?
I've been manager of record on liquor licenses in 4 different states over the past 30 years, 15 of those being here in Colorado with Yard House Restaurants. I started as the GM in our Lakewood, Colorado Mills location, and then also downtown Denver. And then I was a regional director for them for the last 5 years.
As far as this license, will you have staff besides the management? And will you have them go through training, and what kind of training will you have them do?
Yes, I'm TIPS certified, RASP certified, and I don't know about 3 other things. I also am certified to teach TIPS.
Okay.
So all of our training will be based on TIPS, whether it's the official certification or not. I've worked with several different programs that are very similar to that. Probably for this, it's with the smallest staff as we're going to have of 10 to 15 people. We'll just probably go through the TIPS certification and use the Oedipus for that.
Okay. And
You said 10 to 15 employees?
Yeah.
You're expecting?
Yeah.
thank you.
We won't have a full kitchen. We'll have a cold kitchen in the supplement with food trucks. So that brings our staff, and with our limited hours of operation from 2 to midnight, basically 10 to 15 on staff should be, good. We'll see. Maybe we'll be busy enough that we'll need more. That would be a good problem.
So you said you'll have a cold menu, and then you'll have food trucks on specific times?
Special, weekends, things like that, or we may do our own barbecue out back, but we're not putting in a hood system, so.
Okay.
At this point.
And so the drawing, you had mentioned about the beer garden, I'm looking at the drawing. will there be some sort of fence or boundary to let people know when they're?
Yes, we'll have it fenced in so that there's a boundary and posted that no alcohol beyond these fence lines. Our entrance, which since we've applied, we were able to get a set of double doors put into where the windows are so that our entrance into the beer garden now will be from inside. But because it was a historical building or in the historic district, we hadn't had approval for that when we did submit.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's drawn. We may have put it on this drawing hoping that there would be there.
So someone would enter off the sidewalk on Main Street into the building, and then they would go through the building into the beer garden? Yeah.
We'll have 2 gates because we have to have those for fire exits, but those will be exits only. But we will have people, you can see the beer garden through the windows, so there'll be visual ability to watch it. But also, we will have staff in and out because we're going to do table service, which a lot of breweries don't, but we will. And then also during our opening, we expect to be busy. We will have personnel at our entrances just for crowd control and also to maintain those boundaries for open container.
And roughly how many people can sit or can be seated in the?
We're looking at about 100 people outside and about 75, 76 inside.
Okay. And I'm sorry, when did you say you were hoping to open?
Hopefully the end of August, beginning of September.
Okay. Any other questions? Is there anything you want to add? And if not, would go ahead and present your.
You can spread it around. Our brewer's got about 25 years of experience too, brewing
Yeah.
beer. So he's got a few gold medals under his belt.
We also have our
Yeah.
petitioner,
Yeah, if you want to, would you like to go ahead and review?
Max, to talk
petition?
about that
Sure.
and the results.
Yeah.
Okay. Max?
Three's a crowd, I think.
You all are welcome to stay up here if you'd like, but, or not. Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm glad to be here.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
My name's Max Scott, 1X, 2 Ts.
Mr. Scott, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give before this authority is truthful?
Yes, thank you.
All right, so we have a copy of the survey, but if you want to go ahead and walk us through.
Sure. When we prepare the documents, we have a yes/no petition format, write in the reason that you'd like to communicate to the liquor authority. There's 2 classes of parties in interest, business owners or managers on the business side, and residents of the defined neighborhood. We also prepare a briefing sheet. The briefing sheet is generic and specific. In this particular case, it explained the application was for a brew pub, which is on-premise beer, wine, and distilled spirits, 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. They don't have to be open those hours. And off-premise in sealed containers, 8 to midnight, no sales on Christmas. And then we provided the details that you just heard. People want to know what the menu is and when will it open. If you go to the last 2 pages of the report, the first of the last 2 is our map for circulation purposes. It shows the site location. Blue are the businesses that we surveyed. The pink are the residences, and there's a distribution throughout the defined neighborhood. The map that's on the page after that was the one provided by the city staff. I'll just go to the survey results if that's okay. Item number 1, reporting to the client, we did what we contracted to do. We were paid in advance. Thank you very much. That is the overall information in terms of what we call on the business door knocks. Qualified contacts are for or against for whatever reason, 38 businesses favoring, 0 against, 131 residences favoring, 4 against. Commonly, the people that oppose the license are the ones that write in some kind of a comment, and we had 1 no need. I don't know if there's a brew pub in the neighborhood, is there?
We no longer have a brew pub in Littleton.
Therefore, a prima facie case for issuing the license, since the needs can't be met by any other license because there are none. Then we had 3 miscellaneous reasons, for or against for whatever reason, 98% favoring the issuance of the license, And then if you buy our argument and subtract out the 3 miscellaneous reasons, the survey result goes to 99%. Margin of error is 1%, added in, subtracted out. Both show a need and a desire for this new class of license. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Any questions?
We'd like to thank staff, as always. Some jurisdictions aren't very friendly. This one is.
It's always good to hear. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Any other questions for Mr. Scott?
No questions?
All right, thank you very much. Anything else the authority would like to ask?
Not ask, I just note the number, oh, I'm sorry, someone in the audience.
This gentleman would like to speak.
Once we open the public hearing.
Oh, sorry.
I just note on the petitions the number of positive written responses or written comments. I don't always see that many, and I noted quite a few of them.
Quite a few, yep. Anything else from the applicant that you would like to add? No? As far as, do you have a roster? Okay, so there's no one signed up, but is there anyone else who would like to speak this evening on this matter? Come on up.
Good evening.
Good evening. Can you come on up to the microphone, please? Can you state your name, please?
Pardon?
Can you state your name, please?
Yes. My given name is Richard Harlan McGregor.
Mr. McGregor, would you raise your right hand, and do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give before this authority is truthful?
I do.
What would you like to say?
I have a unique view of that property. It's about 90 paces away from my window. And I've been wondering what it was for a long time, and it was empty. And I was born, raised, and educated in Youngstown, Ohio, so I know what vacant buildings do to downtowns in big cities. And I think this is a use that is highly compatible with all of its neighboring uses. Littleton is known as an entertainment center. We entertain well, let's do what we do best. And I think that's what this is. I also want to say that for those of you who have children and grandkids, this is one of the ways we keep them here or close. You know, we get them started as workers in the food service industry, and they move up into being cooks and chefs and owning their own restaurants. It's a training ground for them. I also view the site as not being very, causing very many problems. There's a sufficient amount of neighboring property that can be used to store stuff. And I don't think the chaos from the construction will be bad at all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Is there anyone else who would like to speak this evening? Come on down.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Can you say your name for the record?
Cal Murab.
Mr. Murab, will you raise your right hand, and do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give before this authority is truthful?
I do.
Go ahead.
What an iconic business for an iconic corner. That corner, I acquired it from the day I acquired it to the day I signed the lease. It was quite almost a year. And I met Mr. Summers, and when he told me what he wanted to do and his vision and his dream that he's been working on for a number of years, I said, what a great corner. You know, he lives on Jackass Hill. His brewery is called Jackass Hill Brewery, and he's on Prince Street, which is a continuation of Jackass Hill. So it's a perfect place for a brewery, and it's a perfect place for the community to frequent and support, and it's a great gathering place and events, and I think they're going to do fabulous. They're going to contribute a lot to the community. They're going to contribute a lot to the tax base of the city and to the police and the fire department as well. I encourage you to vote to approve this plan, and hopefully we'll see you down there with a cold brew.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murab. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Any questions or comments from the authority? Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. I move that a resolution of the Littleton Licensing Authority be approved, which grants Jackass Hill Brewery LLC, doing business as Jackass Hill Brewery, 2409 West Main Street, Littleton, Colorado, a brew pub license contingent upon approval by the Colorado Liquor Enforcement Division and based upon the following findings of fact. Number one, that notice of the hearing was properly posted and published. Two, the applicant has possession of the premises and the premises suitable for the requested license, that the needs of the neighborhood are not now being met, that the desire of the adult inhabitants of the neighborhood, that the license be issued, that existing similar liquor licenses in the designated neighborhood are not adequate, and six, the applicant is of good moral character, record, and reputation.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Everything looks in order to me, I think. Will the clerk please poll the authority?
Chair Cole,
Yes.
Authority Member Buchanan,
Yes.
Authority Member Day,
Yes.
Authority Member Schock,
Yes.
Authority Member Winsack.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Best of luck.
Good luck.
Next item on the agenda is item 5B, Resolution 14201 to approve a liquor license application for Born to Bake LLC, doing business as Born to Bake 2540 West Main Street here in Littleton. Is there someone here on behalf of the applicant? Good evening.
Yeah. Hello.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
My name is Nisha Gaddis.
And will you raise your right hand? And do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give before this authority is truthful?
Yes, I do.
So, as you just saw, we usually like to let the applicant just talk a little bit about what they're applying for and anything that you want to point out, and then we can ask questions and if you want to present your survey after that. So if you just want to tell us a little bit about the location and what you're looking to do.
Okay, so let me tell you guys a little bit about ourselves. So for myself first, I am a pastry chef, and I moved here from California 5-6 years ago, and I've been in the industry for a while, and then decided to have my own place with my friends. And the reason we decided to have a liquor license, because we have a lot of customer ask us to do liquor, alcohol in the mornings, like mimosas, something like that. And I even think that will be great for me to even advance my skill to liquor, dessert liquors, all that. And, so that, I think that will be great. And yeah, and then we've been looking for location for a long time to start our bakery. And when we came to downtown Littleton, we just fell in love at the first time. That this cute little towns, and people here are so nice. We've been open for 2 months and a half now, and we just love our customers so much, and we just want to do so much more, and we just want to be good, so we can be here for a long time.
Great. And this is next to Jake's.
Brew Bar?
It's
Yeah.
where they used to be also, right?
It used to be Jake
Yeah,
out
okay.
of half, so.
Yeah, okay. So it's a pastry and...
Pastry, dessert,
okay.
and breakfast sandwiches, like croissant sandwich.
Okay.
We do some lunch, which we serve sandwiches, drinks, and all kinds of those.
And
like
what will your hours be?
So right now our hours Sunday to Wednesday at 7 to 5 p.m. and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's 7 to 7.
Okay. And you would, once you had a liquor license, you would serve drinks at any point during your hours? Mm-hmm. Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
How many employees?
Right now, we have 3 employees. And some of our employees is from Jake's other half, so they already have skills in bartending, so.
That was going to be one of my questions. Will they, I'm guessing they might have already been trained, but will they receive training on, so they,
Yeah, and then my partners also, they used to own a Thai restaurant at By Edgewater, and they already had liquor license, and they've been successful Thai restaurants. It's called Thai Licious, if you guys have heard about it. They own it for 4 years, and they've been working with they have liquor license, and they know all the rules and roles and everything that they have to do.
Is the layout going to be, did you change the layout from the way it was before, or is it substantially the same?
Not at all. We
No?
just
Okay.
remodeling everything. We changed countertops and like repaintings and new tables and all that. But
Okay.
everything's the same layout. Yeah.
Any questions? Would you like to present your petition?
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Carol Johnson for Esquire Petitioning Services.
Ms. Johnson, will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give before this authority is truthful?
Yes, I do.
All right, we have a copy of the petition, but if you want to go ahead and walk us through it, please.
Okay. We had went into 5 different residential areas. If you have a copy of the map, you can see that. So that we have both close and a little bit further out on both east and west of the locations, and then did primarily the businesses on Main Street. Had good response with everyone. Few people knew they were open already when we did this back in May, and others didn't, but they were glad to hear about it. We did a total of 518 door knocks, of which 154 people signed. 57 declined to sign, 21 were ineligible, and 293 did not respond to the door. From that number, we had 125 residents and 28 business owners or managers for 153 in support for 99.4%. We had 1 resident in opposition for 0.6% for the 154 total signatures. The reason the 1 person signed in opposition was due to their religious beliefs. So for the final needs and analysis, we had 153 in support for 100%. And from the people that I talked to personally and the feedback I got from the other petitioners, everybody is welcoming them. A few of the people that hadn't been there or hadn't heard about them were concerned. We're just questioning the fact of a bakery, but once we told them that they did have sandwiches and other things, that it wasn't just going to be beer and cupcakes, they were fine with it. So.
All right. Any questions on the survey? Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Any other questions for the applicant, or was there anything else you wanted to add? No? Okay. Is there anyone here? Is there anyone else here who would like to speak on the application? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
I'll motion.
Go ahead.
I move that that a resolution of the Littleton Licensing Authority be approved, which grants Born to Bake LLC, DBA Born to Bake, 2540 West Main Street, Littleton, Colorado, a hotel and restaurant liquor license contingent upon approval by the Colorado Liquor Enforcement Division and based upon the following findings of fact. 1, that the notice of hearing was properly posted and published. 2, that the applicant has possession of the premises and the premises are suitable for the requested license. 3, that the needs of the neighborhood are not now being met. 4, that it is the desire of the adult inhabitants of the neighborhood that the license be issued. 5, that existing similar liquor licenses in the designated neighborhood are not adequate And 6, that the applicant is of good moral character, record, and reputation.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Again, looks like everything is in order. Will the clerk please pull the authority?
Chair Cole,
Yes.
Authority Member Buchanan,
Yes.
Authority Member Day,
Yes.
Authority Member Schock,
Yes.
Authority Member Winsack.
Yes.
Congratulations. Welcome to Littleton, and wish you the best of luck. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is 9A, report from staff.
We wanted to provide you something, because Authority Member Webb is always asking what's coming down the pipe or kind of thing.
Not here.
And he's not here.
But he'll be able to look at this now, and
he'll
that'll be
know.
helpful.
He'll know. Plus, I wanted to give you an idea of kind of the timeline, what it takes once we get something in-house to get it to completion. So you can see kind of the volume that we're working on in regards to liquor licenses on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So if there's anything that I have omitted that you would like to see, please let me know. If there's information on there that isn't useful to you, please let me know. This is something that we used to do probably about 6 years ago. Chair Cole remembers, and then we stopped doing it just because there seemed to be a lack of interest in it. And so because of Authority Member Webb and also Vice Chair Levier's questions from time to time, we thought that this would be a way to share information with you, as well as for the Assistant City Attorney to share information about upcoming legislation or legislation that's newly passed and things like that. We could put it all together in one place for you.
And you'll see at the bottom of the report in the miscellaneous information section that I think we discussed this last time too, but we are now kind of on the fast track to getting the code updates completed. Once they got on the calendar, it is moving quickly. So we're going to go to a study session with council on July 10th, assuming that they come out of that study session wanting to go forward with the code changes. It will come the next day to you guys to do a resolution approving and recommending those changes to council, at which point they will go to first read on August 7th and on second read on August 21st. So it's rapidly approaching, but that's good. It means that we're going to get those done sooner rather than later.
Great. Is there anything you need from us?
Yeah, do you want us to attend on this at the study session, or?
You don't have to attend. I mean, you're certainly welcome to come, but the presentation will be handled primarily by myself and potentially Colleen as well. But you guys are certainly welcome to come and kind of just to show support, but it's not necessary.
Okay.
I appreciate this document. This information was eye-opening. I forget how much else is going on besides the matters we just addressed here in public session. So, and the information about the liquor licensing laws is also edifying. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions about that summary that I did on Senate Bill 243, let me know. This was just signed in the beginning of June by the governor. It's in response to 197. There was some holes in 197, and there was supposed to be some rulemaking that didn't really end up being satisfactory to some people. So this bill was brought forward. You can see that it mostly has to do with fermented malt beverage and basically dealing with the elimination of 3.2.
Thank you for the summary, and I think the document's great. I agree. Any other questions from the authority?
Real quick, just a reminder that tomorrow night at the museum is the authorities, boards, and commissions appreciation dinner. So hopefully you'll be in attendance for that.
Yeah, And I'll be at the museum. I won't be down at Hudson Gardens because they reminded me. that
Do not show up at Hudson Gardens. There will be nobody
There
there.
will be no one there. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, do show up. It's a beautiful place, but don't go
But
for the
right,
party.
not tomorrow night at 5:30. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else from staff?
I don't know if anybody else had a chance to see the video that was sent
was
around.
interesting,
It was great. I really appreciate it, and it was funny, and I appreciate it, so. And good selection of video, if I assume you played a role in that.
Well, we can thank Tyler, our videographer, Tyler, take a bow,
Yeah.
who pieced that together for us, but we had fun contributing to that.
All right. Anything else from staff? Anything from the authority? So obviously, because I'm reading the report, I know that we will have a meeting next month, unless something comes up with the, well, we have a few things. We have a couple of applications, and we may have a resolution regarding the code change. Okay.
Correct. So it will appear on your agenda, which will come out prior
Right.
to both the study session as tentative.
Right.
Right, because we need to make sure that we have that posted
24 hours,
at least 24 hours ahead of time. We always have the option, if something doesn't go our way at the study session and we need to do more work,
Right.
that we can pull it from the agenda the next night,
Right.
so.
Okay. All right. Anything else for the good of the order?
I thought this was very interesting. Andrew gets to see the licenses because he has to sign for them, but to see how many, that was very interesting.
Yeah, I agree. It's good. Yeah. All right. Anything else? We're adjourned.